Hello and welcome to Danny Design Studio. This is June Class in a Box 2024 and this is a watercolouring class. So this month I'm trying to introduce the new basic beige colour cardstock, which is beautiful and sort of a neutral colour, and that's what I wanted to show off, the watercolour through that, just to make it really very natural and simple. And so there are different types of watercolouring, which we'll go into in a minute. Now we have to use the watercolour paper, and then what I have used here is the Spotlight on Nature. It absolutely comes out beautifully when you stamp it on, and then the Spotlight on Nature dies are just gorgeous. So we've got loads of lovely dies here, so detailed. So that's what you have got in your pack. You have, if you're doing it online, what you need to do is you need to have Stazon, which is a alcohol-based solvent ink, and you need the cleaner to go with it. This is the cleaner in the chamber, and then a little sort of sponge head, and as soon as you've done it you just need to clean your stamp image straight away, otherwise it darkens and blackens your ink pad. Now there are different types of watercolouring. We're going to use the type that we are doing today, which I'll show you in a minute, but on page 118 and 119 of the new catalogue, it's all about watercolouring. So you've got your water painters, which come in a 3-pack, comes in this little case. Now what you do is, this will all wipe quick clean. There's a fine nib, a medium nib and a thicker nib, and you fill this little chamber with water. Now to open it, it goes the opposite way to what you think it does, so it's not broken, it's right to open and left to close. And then fill it with water, and then you've got this little push here, which if you squeeze with your hands, the water will come out through the brush at the top. So that is what we're using today. There's watercolour pencils, which I put a little rubber band over and put it in a tin, but they're all different colours, all Stampin' Up colours. And what you do is you would colour your image, and then you would use the water painter to go over it, and it will just look like a watercolour. So that's a different type of watercolouring. The watercolouring pencils, you've got blender pens. Oops, let's get it out of my tin. So the blender pens you can use, they look like this, a thicker brush end and a thinner end, and you can just use it on your stamp pad like this at the side, and then you colour. And then to get rid of that colour, you can use it on a different colour, but you get rid of it by putting it on some paper, and it will take all the colour out, so it'll be all light again. So that comes in a pack of 3. And then you've got these lovely soft pastels assortment. So these are like chalks. So you take it out, you'd scrape some onto an acrylic block, and then use your water painter, put some water in it, and you can watercolour with these. So all different sort of ways of which you can watercolour. And I forgot one other way is, can't find it, the inks. The little ink refills, you can put a few little blobs on your acrylic block and then use the water painter and you paint it that way. You can also fill these chambers up with a few drops of this and a bit of water, and then you can splash it onto your project, and that gives a good sort of nice technique as well as painting it in, obviously. So today what I've done here is I have put a little bit of colour onto my acrylic block. The colours I have used are Balmy Blue as the background, Berry Burst, Pretty in Pink and Old Olive, and so that is what you see here. So then I'll take my die cut that I've given you, and that is a watercolour painter. So I'm then going to take my biggest brush, put a bit of water on there, and then give it a little bit of a wash, just to give it a little bit of background. And then what you can do is, I'm going to dry that in a minute, just to let you know that you want to get rid of that blue. If you've got a piece of kitchen roll, so you keep pushing that, keep pushing it so the water comes out until it's clear. And there it is, that is actually clear at the tip. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry this first. Make sure that it's completely dry. And dry it with my heat gun. Takes a few seconds just to speed up the process. I'll just check that it's dry, and it is. Okay, so I'm ready for the next step. So I've then got my Stazon and going to ink up my flower. Just make sure that that is dry. So just get that ready to clean, and then ink that up, ready to see which way is the best, and then put it in the middle and then press down. Give a good press, and there we go. So clean your stamp quickly, lift off the black, and then you can get a piece of kitchen roll and clean it off. I think it's an oil or something in this to lift it. So my glass mat, I've got my new glass mat, so I'm going to clean it with the cloth that they provide. So let's just put this away. sure that this is all on, because this really will mark your hands. So then just have to make sure that that is completely dry. So I'm going to put the heat on this tool over it. Otherwise, unfortunately, and I've done it before, it runs into each other. So then I'm going to take the darker colour, because I'm going to do a pink flower. That bit will be more concentrated than that bit, so I might just lift that off. And I'm going to do the bottom of the flower, and that one. So you need the fine tip for this. If you haven't got these brushes, then it's fine to just use a brush. So then I'm going to clean my brush, keep squeezing until it runs clear, and it's clear. Okay, then put it into the lighter pink, and then going to blend it in. And then this bit just needs to blend a bit more before it completely dries. It dries very quickly because it's a hot day, and also it's very porous, the fluid 100 paper, so it just absorbs very quickly and dries. Just need to spend a little time on it. And if you haven't got the spotlight on nature, just use another flowery or whatever you like, but it's got to have a sort of a certain amount of area for you to colour in. So then put some more water onto there, and then I'm going to start blending this bit. What can you see? Right, can you see? Yes, you can. Get carried away, and I don't know whether I'm in shot now. So just soft little bits of brushing to blend that, and then you can work on the lighter colour at the top. So for this image, it's best to use the finer tip. And again, last one. Just blending that in. And I'm happy with that. So again, to take that out, take the water out until it runs clear, and then you can see it's clear. So then I need the green now. So can you see the green? Yes, you can. So then I'm going to just do the leaves. And maybe if I want it dark, I'll just go straight onto that. Where the shading of the leaf on the actual stamp print, I use that as a guide to know where the darker colour is. So I want that at the bottom of the leaf. So then I'm going to come and do the top. So I want it more dilute, and then see what colour it is. That should be all right, maybe a bit more dilute. And then just to get some depth to that leaf. It's just a very simple image, and a lot of it, even the stamp has done a lot of the work for you, but it's actually just very peaceful to just colour, watercolour it in, because you can see how beautiful that is. And it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long at all. So there we go. That is watercolouring done. So then what I would do is again dry it off. Dry. Doesn't take long. If you don't want to do that, it's fine to just leave it to one side. So there we go. So that's done. So then I need to do the rest of my card. My card is a square card, and it's 28 by 14, and then scored in the middle at 14 to create a square. And this is my insert, which is 13.5 by 13.5 square. I'm going to decorate that in a minute, but we are going to use the basic beige, sort of a tone on tone, to create sort of a background. Now if you have a Versamark, that would be fine as well. So I'm going to just go around. You're not going to really see the middle, so I'm just going around with the leaves. And I'm just thinking, with the grid paper it wouldn't mark the actual back, so you just have to be careful and wipe it away quickly. So that is the front of it. Then I'm going to layer. So that is one of the die cuts. I'm going to layer that on like that. And I've either given you some twine or a basic beige bit of ribbon, so you can choose how you want to do this. So that I'm going to put mine, the basic beige, around here, and I'm going to do, you can do a little bow, or you can do a knot. It's really up to you. I'm just going to do a bow and it a little bit. I haven't got my mic in. Oh, I hope it's loud enough for you, because my voice can drop when I'm concentrating. So I'm just hoping it's okay. So, and then I'm going to put that on first, because it will determine where I put this. It might not be in the middle. Now, to keep that in place, sometimes what I do is I want it a bit more up the top. So sometimes what I do is just put a little glue dot underneath there to hold it in place. Then what I've got here is I'm going to pop that in the middle. So what am I going to do? I need some green. Where's the glue? There we go. And I'm going to put that more or less in the middle. It's fine. I was going to sort of put it onto one side if this took up a lot of space, but I think it's fine. So then I would like to raise this up a little bit, I think. Let's use this. One demonstrator does this so quickly. Love it. But not me. So then I'm going to put that in the middle, centralise it, make sure it's, and then I'd like to put that there. So take these off. So what I have done is, let me show you where I've got that sentiment from. I did that quickly because I've just done that in Memento. Where shall I pop it? There, I think. Yeah, so I basically found that Unbounded Love and got the die. Some beautiful dies in here. Taken that die and put that on there. And I think these sentiments are lovely. So I thought that worked really well. So then this is your insert. Okay. Then I'm just going to use black Memento for this. I don't want to use the Stazon because it's just a normal, regular white. If I can find the black Memento, but I can't find it, so I'll have to get another one. So I will just ink that up, make sure all the cleaner is off. And then pop that on there. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? And then, that one there. Take that off. And then I'm ready to pop it inside. Bit of glue. We all have our favourites. I like wet glue. I think it's much cheaper and I actually like it. So there we go. That is your card. And they're all the same. Now what you could do if you wanted to, which I haven't done because I forgot about, but you can actually create little specks. If you can see this one, I've created some little specks on there, and that one. So you could do that, but I wouldn't do it now because obviously I'm going to make a mess. But I would have done it before I put that onto the card. So just to create a little bit more texture to your card. But there we go, that's it. Hope you enjoyed that little introduction and I hope you enjoyed doing that class. Thank you for joining me.